1 2 1 2 family. 1 2 1 2. Checking my sound, family. One two 1 2. 1 2 1 2. All right. There. Trying to transfer myself over to the radio panel. I know that goes. So 1 2 1 2. All right. I know it's been a minute, family, about to get this party started. Make sure I was live and direct on the radio. Let me know how my sound's going on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble. On all podcasting platforms. Let me know what my sound is, family. 1 2 1 2. Black. Hot. Fire. Camera's on live. Hold on 1 second now. Stay on. Everybody get up in here. It's live on. As we warm things up, family, how's everybody doing today? Let me check my sound. 1 2 1 2. My sound alright? We're gonna talk about this Derek Chauvin thing much more tonight, family. Just let me ease myself up into my position again. You know, it's been a minute, couple of weeks, but I'm back. Like I said, I couldn't do nothing last week because one of my sons just showed about the blue. You know how that can be. Everybody on tell people on TikTok. How you doing on TikTok? Woo! You gonna get invited? Like that, like that. Get it back, get it back. Vegas, shorty's out in Vegas. What's going on, fam? Get everything worked out. Everybody live on radio. What's up with everybody? Woo! Singing in my forte. Get this thing popping up. Woo! Bring it back. Bring it back. I'm about to get this thing started. Glad to be back, family. Let the intro just play and we're going in this thing. I'm checking my sound. My internet's still a little bit janky, I tell you, boy. So I guess my little loud, my internet don't work right. It's crazy. Yeah, guess on TikTok they can't see my background right there. You guys see my background on YouTube? Facebook, Instagram, let me know what you're looking at. Woo! Come on. Alright, this party started. What's going on, Dan? How you doing, brother? See you up in there. And it's been acting jacked up. Woo! Just gonna play this song out a little bit before we get this party started. Let me know if my sound sounds good on YouTube, Dan. How my sound like on YouTube? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Trying to make sure my sound's alright there, Dan. Gotta make everything nice and crisp before we get things started, you know what I'm saying? Booyah, should be live. I can see me Booyah live back in the building. Alright, let's stop this thing right here and do this right here. Let's do this. Alright, 1 2 1 2. I want to say welcome back to everybody to the Black Hot Fire Network show. I'm your host, Mr. Black Hot Fire, always on that ass. And we're broadcasting live from the homeland of the United States of America all the way over to the mother continent of Africa. Because we are truly one of the only international radio programs, and that's what's up. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who watches on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, everybody on Instagram, everybody on Rumble, everybody on Twitter, everybody on Twitch, and everybody now on TikTok, and all podcasting platforms globally, and also on the blackest network in the world, Black Hot FireNetwork.com. So strap on your seatbelt because school's back in, stupid. Ring the alarm. Here we go, here we go. Black Hot Fire. Come on. Woo! Black Hot Fire. So we everywhere tonight, family. We everywhere tonight. Don't be scared. Feel free to call in 850-368-9102. Don't be afraid to call in 850-368-9102. We have to hear what you got to say about this situation that we're talking about. Now, Derek Chauvin just one of the few things I'm going to discuss tonight. We're going to go everywhere. Black Hot Fire. Come on. Let me check on my cameras, make sure my camera's working right. That seems to be alright. Alright. Let that get up in you. Black Hot Fire. Woo! Don't be scared. We got you, baby. We got you. Don't be scared. We up in the building. Black Hot Fire. Don't you be scared now. We back up in this piece, family. Black Hot Fire on all channels. TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and all podcasting platforms, family. Woo! Come on. Black Hot Fire. All right. That's what I'm doing. Welcome back to everybody, Black Hot Fire Network show. Happy to have everybody here. Like I said, I missed last week because I had some family issues to take care of, but I'm back. I'm back in the building, so don't nobody beat me up. Told you I was gonna be faithful and doing what I'm supposed to be doing every week from now on, here on out, right? My business piece. So Let me get my ride out music on here real quick. Alright, family, so an unfortunate event has happened. If you say it's unfortunate, or maybe you might be happy about it, but we found out here recently that white supremacist racist Derek Chauvin has been stabbed in prison. So he seems to have survived, but they know they should have had him in confined conditions, especially not being out in general public, walking around, the other inmates, because they were obviously going to feel some sort of way, right? They obviously were not going to be happy about Derek Chauvin walking around freely inside that prison without doing damage to this individual, right? And we're not going to be happy with that whatsoever. So, so we're going to walk through this, and then, like I said, this is some few things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a little bit of everything tonight, because like I said, I wanted to do earlier show, but I said, nah, I better get everything set up now, make sure things running accordingly. Like I said, hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. Let me know, guys, let me know if my sound is coming in all right. Turn this down some. You guys let me know whether my sound is coming in nice and clear. Yeah, so now with Derek Chauvin being stabbed, it brings up the controversial death again of George Floyd, unfortunately. Now, you have the right-wing wackos running around talking about, oh, he was on drugs, he didn't die from that. Now, whether or not he died from drugs, or the crushing of his windpipe, which we clearly saw, that wouldn't be the issue if you had any ounce of humanity in you and say it was still wrong for someone to kneel on someone's neck like that, whether they were on drugs or not. That'd be the normal humanitarian thing to think about. But a lot of these right-wing wackos go off with this other nonsense. They always put us in the camp with the liberals. We don't agree with none of the shit they talk about either. So I told you we gotta be devoid of the Republican and the Democratic Party. Both of them are poisonous, racist, and all messed up. And the sad fact that they wanted to make an issue about Derek Chauvin committing murder to this individual. And it took an uprising, remember? Uprising in 2020 to make, the powers that be feel any kind of guilt or feel any kind of pressure as far as trying to convict these individuals of this man's heinous murder. That's what it is. It's funny how, I'm just going back over this whole case again. I just found it funny how the right-wing Christian wackos always claiming this Jesus nonsense to us, right? But they have no humanity as far as, somebody kneel on someone's neck and they don't see nothing wrong with that. They'll tell you all kind of, obfuscations toward this. And I say, it's clearly murder, that this is the wrong thing to do. Whether George Floyd was on murder or not. But they have no problem with their white people running around here and fentanyl. Somebody hurts them. Oh, it's a tragedy. Oh my God. It's a tragedy because you know why? They're on fentanyl. They shouldn't be. They need treatment. They shouldn't be treated harshly. For them, at the end of the day, it's always color first, not humanity first. That's the sad fact. It always comes across as color first, not humanity first. He died because of counterfeit 20. Yeah, that's why they came and got him. Yeah, because the counterfeit. I forgot about that, Michelle. Thanks for reminding. I forgot about that. You guys remember the counterfeit money that he had to pay for his items inside that store. Now, but the funny part, none of that should have led to this man's untimely death. Isn't it funny? None of the actions prior to his death should have led him to be murdered, or should have led to his death. That's the simple fact of the matter. None of these things that transpired before his untimely death should have led them to kill him. Whatever he did was not a killable offense or a murderable offense. You know what I'm saying? Should have been a murderable offense. So it should have been a murderable offense. And it's not even hot in here. How the hell? Well, give me a second. This thing here, hold on, give me a second. This thing in here. Oh, I lost mine. So my thing is overheated. It's not even hot. It ain't hot. Give me a second. I lost all mine. Guys, give me a second. Anyway, I'm gonna go to this article right here anyway. Give me a second, guys. Oh, look what happened. My damn tablet overheated for TikTok. And I had quite a few people on there too. Shit. So I lost all of them. They were completely dead. Completely off. So let me start with a little bit of this article by CNN here, right? Saying he goes on to say that Derek Chauvin, former officer convicted in the George Floyd killing. Well, I got wires all in the damn way everywhere. She's crazy. Sorry about that. I got wires everywhere. Sorry about that, y'all. So it goes on to say that Derek Chauvin, former officer convicted in George Floyd's killing, stabbed in prison, authorities say. I don't know if I should play this thing right here now. Maybe I should play this part and see what it says. It's taking a long time to damn.
It's been so much smoother, so much more hydrated. It's all like Orlane Hyaluronic Body Wash is packed with our highest level of vitamin B3 complex. 85% of women have visibly better skin in just 14 days. And my skin is so much.
Don't you skip this commercial? Put this thing on. So you said you got a commercial on here.
Wait, my skin did this with just the body wash.
That's why I don't play these damn videos on the damn news. They always got their commercials firsthand.
The former Minneapolis police officer convicted of the murder of George Floyd was assaulted in federal prison, according to CNN sources. Let's bring in CNN's Carlos Suarez now. So what happened?
So according to the Minnesota Attorney General, Keith Ellison, he says that his office was made aware of the fact that this stabbing took place and that the 47-year-old Chauvin is in stable condition at a hospital and is expected to be okay. Now, Ellison went on to say that, of course, he was saddened to hear about what happened and that Chauvin should be able to carry out his sentence without the fear of violence and retaliation. We know that this stabbing took place yesterday afternoon at a medium security federal prison out in Tucson, Arizona, where Chauvin is carrying out his sentence. Now, the details leading up to the stabbing are still unclear at this hour. Federal prison officials really did not give a whole lot of information about what happened, other than to say that, quote, life-saving measures were taken and that none of their employees were hurt. Chauvin is serving two concurrent sentences on state and federal charges with regards to George Floyd's murder. Again, we're told that the 47-year-old is in stable condition and that he is expected to be okay. And then earlier this week, Victor, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear Chauvin's case, This after his attorneys argued that he did not receive a fair trial.
All right, listen to that. All right, let's go read it. Oh shit! Let me stop this damn thing. Let's start this thing again. Give me a second, guys. Be multitasking here. A lot of multitasking. Let's see if I can restart this thing here. Okay, so it goes on to say, Derek Chauvin, the former.
5 Asian immigrants are suing the state of Indiana because the state of Indiana passed a law and gives driver's license.
There we go. Then he started talking about something. So it goes on to say, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who was convicted in 2020 murder of George Floyd, was stabbed Friday in a federal prison in Arizona. The office of Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison has confirmed. The Attorney General's office, which prosecuted Chauvin in the Floyd case, said early Saturday it was notified of the assault and was told Chauvin is in stable condition. So, Keith Ellison, I think that was the guy that's the Muslim individual I noticed now, and that was in Congress some years ago, and he wasn't no good anyway. But him being, I don't know if this is a step up or a step down when you become, Attorney General of the state. You decide to give up your Congress seat and go back and become an Attorney General. So. If I can do this again, give me a second, guys. Maybe this thing will work right. He goes and say, I am sad to hear that Derek Chauvin was the target of violence, Ellison said. According to the statement provided to CNN, he was duly convicted of the crimes and like any incarcerated individual, he should be able to serve his sentence without fear of retaliation or violence. Now that right there, that whole thing sounds stupid. That whole thing sounds stupid. They know they should have kept him in a confined area away from general population because the black people were going to want to get at him. So that whole EAC nonsense sounds stupid. You know that they were going to want to get at him. So ideal that that you were going to be okay. Idea that you were going to be okay in a majority black prison, because we know we're the individuals that law enforcement targets, that this wicked ass system targets. We know it's us the ones that get targeted. So idea that he was going to be left alone is really stupid on its face if he was going to be put in general population. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't even make sense. Wouldn't make sense for you to believe such nonsense as if, you were going to be left alone to just live your life freely inside a prison of black men, most of whom have been affected by you as a police officer. Give me a second so I can put this thing back up here real quick. Okay. Let's try this again. Alright, see if I can try that again. See if that works. You won't overheat on me. Might be that app. Okay. There you go. Okay. Alright. So the idea that they thought he was going to be free and clear, he was going to be able to sustain himself inside a prison full of black men without any harm, is absolutely crazy. They should have been in protective custody looked after heavily within that prison system, because you knew violence was going to be the main thing that was going to happen to this individual because of what he did to get himself in there. And white America did not want to convict him of that case. Most police officers have impunity of murdering black people, and white people try to play some kind of victimization as if that's not the case. You can never be honest about how the system is set up to murder, kill, imprison black people. That's just the nature of the beast, sadly. We gotta play some kind of kabuki theater, some kind of fake game, as if the justice system is weird or it is doled out differently or doled out the same to each person. Like we actually have a fair and just system, which we do not have. So let me go and read the rest of this thing here. Goes on to say, an incarcerated individual was assaulted at the Federal Correction Institution in Tucson at approximately 12:30 p.m., the Bureau of Prisons said Friday. Responding employees initiated life-saving measures for one incarcerated individual, and that person was transferred to a hospital for treatment, the Bureau said in a release. No employees were injured during the incident, the release said. So obviously he needed life-saving measures to save his life because he was almost out of here. The stabbing was first reported by the Associated Press and then the the New York Times. Visitations at the prison was suspended starting Saturday until further notice. Federal Bureau of Prison spokesperson Emery Nelson told CNN. When CNN asked if the visitation suspicion was connected with an inmate being attacked at the facility, Nelson said, for safety and security reasons, the details supporting a warden's decision to suspend visitation at the facilities are not discussed. Chauvin was assaulted by a medium security prison was assaulted at a medium security prison while serving 2 concurrent sentences in Floyd's murder. Greg Erickson, Chauvin's attorney, said he only learned about the assault through the media and has since attempted to reach prison officers multiple times to confirm the news, only to be rebuffed. So obviously they're concerned about Derek Chauvin's condition, but they knew they put him in general population. This was going to happen, that he was going to be fed up to the wolves. And black men understand this case. We're going to be sitting there. We're going to take retribution on him. This should not be any kind of misunderstanding that happened within that prison. That he was going to be fair play, right? That he was going to be fair play, and that's what happened. The idea that he thought he was going to walk around, in general population with the rest of the people is absolutely crazy, because the heinous crime he did he committed to find himself, unfortunately, in this federal prison. And for his safety, they're supposed to keep him out of general population. So I don't know what happened, what transpired to allow him to be walking amongst general population and to think he was safe. That's absolutely insane, because he's one of the most marked men in any prison on the planet for the killing of an innocent black man. Or well, you want to say, as Michelle said, an individual that decided to use counterfeit money to buy something. How you doing, Jibba Jabba? How you doing, bro? So, the ideal, that this was going to be something different than what it was is absolutely crazy. I'm surprised he lasted so long. He got convicted, in 2020? And I think he went I'll keep reading the rest of the article, find out how long he's been in there, right? How long he's been in there. Guys, give me a second, you drink some water. To find out how long he's been in there. But the sad fact, I feel nothing for him. On a humanitarian, sympathetic, compassionary moment, I feel nothing for him. The way he can snuff out this, and like I said, he's already been reported of doing other heinous crimes towards black people and never getting any conviction or nothing ever happened to him. That's why these police do. They get free reign to run crazy on black people. Free reign. And the white establishment along with the white population, it's justifiable what they do. These black people are so bad, they're so heinous. We must keep our boot on them. We must keep unjust practices on these individuals to let them know not to step out of line of white power. There's no excuse for these people. There's no excuse for them. So, they seem to be up in arms now about Derek Chauvin. And obviously he survived. And if they put him back in general population, he might not be so lucky the second time around. Because he's a marked man. His life is marked. And the funny part, the images that I have on TikTok, if you guys go to any of my TikTok channels, you see the image that I got scrolling on TikTok. Just go to Mr. Black Eye Fire 1 or Mr. Black Eye Fire 2. Mr. Black Eye Fire or Mr. Black Eye Fire 1, you see my scroll. The funny part about it, that they've seen this happen. This man's knee crushing his windpipe when George Floyd said, "I can't breathe." You think the humane thing would do would say, "Okay, let me get my damn knee off your neck"? You think the humane thing would be, "Let me get my knee off your neck"? At least do that. At least have that much compassion, that much humanity. But they don't have that. That's why I feel absolutely nothing for this individual getting stabbed inside federal prison earlier today. I feel absolutely nothing. I feel empty inside about him getting stabbed. And the sad fact about it, once he heals from his wounds and they put this individual back in general population, it's bound to happen again. He needs to be kept in isolated, solitary, conditions away from everybody else. If he's going to survive there, live out the rest of his life unfeathered, untouched, unbothered. Because the amount of anger, the amount of rage that individuals feel when they see him, he should know it's always going to be on sight. His life always going to be on threat, on sight. The amount of rage, the amount of contempt that they have for this individual, right? That they're going to have for him. Yeah, it was devastated about it. Yeah, exactly right, Michelle. Because this level of equality or illegality shouldn't have led up. Illegality shouldn't have led up to this man's demise. There's no reason why this should let. And this is clearly racial. That's why they always scared to, call a spade a spade. This was clearly a racial situation that happened. Sadly enough, they couldn't see the humanity in him. That the mindset you have to put your knee on a man's windpipe who's begging you, telling you, I cannot breathe. I can't breathe. You think you have enough, it could have been done by mistake, and we can give you that. But when you clearly, everybody on the street is telling you, you're killing him, and he's telling you he cannot breathe because your damn knee is on his windpipe. Your knee is on his windpipe, and he's clearly telling you, I cannot breathe. You think you have enough humanity within you to say, okay, my bad, I made a mistake. Let me get my knee up your windpipe. I might have gone too far off the line. Because mistakes, people do make mistakes. Adrenaline happens, people get caught up in adrenaline. So I give you that benefit of the doubt. I have that much humanity to give you that benefit of the doubt. Because people's adrenaline flows and things do happen. And at that time, it could have been a mistake. But when you heard this man say he can't breathe, and everybody, the bystanders on the streets, telling you that you're killing him, you're clearly killing this man because you cut off the oxygen to his windpipe. You cut his oxygen off. At that moment, your adrenaline is supposed to now kick into your humanity and say, you know what? Oh man, I made a mistake. I went too far. Let me get my knee off your neck. That would have been the human thing to do. But I told you, fam, whenever they go in and find a lot of these officers, as they call them, they pick the dumbest, the most influenced, the most easily propagandized against people, especially to patrol the black area. They're the most violent, because they do brain typing on these people. Remember, they got to do a psychological eval when they're getting hired as police officers, and most of them know they loose cannons. It's not a doubt that they don't know if most of these people are loose cannons and what they do and what they're capable of. It's always they fear for their lives or something happened. So this thing has been again. I don't know. I tried to accept you guys. Think you want to join my fault. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. Whoever this is on TikTok, yeah, he's still alive. I'm trying to read you guys TikTok because you guys are things are so far. Hold on, let me see what you guys see on this one now. You can send a link. All you gotta do is just request. If you want to be a guest on TikTok, just request and I'll let you in. You just gotta request it. It's a little different. Just hit the request button and I'll allow you in, bro. Just hit the request button. That's all you gotta do and I'll allow you in. So, the ideal, anybody want to join on TikTok, just hit the request and I'll grant your request. So the sad fact, when they put them back in general population, hopefully they do not do this. They keep them isolated, keep them isolated away from general population so he can't serve out the rest of his time. I don't want the man murdered. I don't want him murdered. There's no benefit in me in seeing him killed. I prefer him to do his time and make it miserable. I think death is the easy way out. So, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him murdered. I want to see him to do his time. So, I want to see him do his time. I don't want him murdered. So, the best thing to do once they heal him is to keep him away from general populations. And he'll be safe. But if you don't, they know, I don't know what kind of vendetta, goes on inside the prisons. As far as the guards are not going to be able to protect you. The guards are not going to be able to protect you. And that's what's going to happen to you. The guards are not going to be able to protect you. And this is going to happen. This occurrence is going to happen again and again and again. Like raining hellfire down on you. I'm coming to get you. I see you. Like raining hellfire down on you. Right? This again. So let me finish reading the rest of this article real quick, family. Let me finish reading the rest of this thing here. So it says, let me pick up where I left out right here. It says, I've called the prison 7 times. They refused to speak to me 7 times. Erickson told CNN in an interview Saturday afternoon. Erickson said Chauvin's parents have also not been able to reach him. It is unbelievably unprofessional that no one from the prison has reached out to his parents, he added. In April 2021, Chauvin was convicted on state charges of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison. Months later, Chauvin pleaded guilty to federal charges of depriving Floyd of his civil rights and was sentenced to 21 years in prison. Chauvin, how you pronounce it, Chauvin, who is white, knelt on Floyd's neck and back for more than 9 minutes. See, let's make sure we understand it. Knelt on this man's neck and back for more than 9 minutes. But your right-wing wackos, the white supremacists, tell you, oh, he was on drugs. He died of drugs. He was a drug addict. What the hell does that got to do with the price of tea in China? Everybody go crazy when you talk about them being on fentanyl. They should be put inside rehabilitation camps or rehabilitation programs to help them kick drugs for them. But they never give the same conscious love and care and concern for anybody black that's on drugs. They're supposed to be locked up. They're supposed to be murdered. Clearly this man knee was on his damn neck and back for over 9 minutes. Clearly. But the white supremacists will tell you he was on drugs. He was doing illegal things. He was already a criminal. What the hell does that got to do with you crushing a man's windpipe? See, I told you the detachment from reality with these people is palpable. Detachment of reality, to see a certain thing and view it in a certain sphere of non-black and non-white, these people cannot do. For them, everything is racial. And they try to say you play the race card. No, white people play the race card and pretend like they don't. They don't want to play the race card because they see everything in a racial purview. Their survival. They don't see injustice when it's done. The majority. And I'm not saying all white people. I'm saying the majority of them. They do not see injustice when it's not done to no one white. They don't see it. They can't fathom. They can't bring themselves to admit when they see non-black people being treated unjustly. They refuse to see it. It's crazy. It's like some kind of strange psychopathic mechanism that they got. It's absolutely insane to me. But anyway, let me go and say so this is what Michelle was talking about. So it goes to say the officers responded to reports suspected Floyd use of counterfeits. $20 at a Minneapolis corner store. Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was handcuffed and lying face down on the street as he pleaded he couldn't breathe. Exactly. You'd already handcuffed. He wasn't running away nowhere. Why did you feel the need to put your knee on this man's neck and strangle him to death? Because that's what it was. Asphyxiation by the weight of this man's knee and his whole body being compressed on top of this man's back and neck. Why did you feel compelled to do such a thing? What kind of monster are you? And that's what we got to call a spade a spade. What kind of monster are you? that you thought this was okay. You already had him handcuffed and on his face in the middle of the damn street. But you still felt it was your responsibility, your humanity, to put your knee on someone's neck and suffocate them to death. And every moron out there will tell you, hey, he died, he was a drug addict and a criminal. What the hell does that got to do with your condition of treating another human being with dignity and respect? What does that got to do with anything? See, they only see that when it's concerning them. Anybody black, the mistreatment, the maltreatment of anybody black, they cannot connect with you on a humane level. The majority, not all of them, but the majority is absolutely psychopathic in the response that they have to the death of an innocent man. Whether he had a counterfeit $20 bill, he was innocent as far as him being murdered. He was still innocent as far as him being murdered. There's no reason why he should have been murdered. So let's go on and say this. Floyd's killing sparked massive racial injustice protests across the nation and around the world. All the way police treat people of color. Exactly. But they claim they don't see it. They want to give you every arbitrary reasoning for his death. Now remember, he was on drugs. How dare he was on some kind of drugs? As if his drugs made him made him able to withstand someone kneeling on his windpipe and crushing it. You know, that's the idiocy. You know, that's the idiocy. That's the idiotic response you get when you say this is cold-blooded murder, which it was. Like I said, I would have gave you the benefit of the doubt at the beginning. You said your adrenaline was pumping, because that happens. Sometimes you make a mistake. But he had a chance to clear up that mistake when people on the streets, the bystanders, were telling him, hey, you're killing him. And he's sitting there breathing, lack of breath, telling you, hey, I cannot breathe. Your response, even if you're under an adrenaline rush, your humane response is, oh, I brought him in to say, let me get my knee off your neck. Because obviously you're not telling a lie that you cannot breathe. That'd be the more humane thing to do. But like I told you, fam, they don't see you as a human being. That's why the majority always go with these wicked ass cops and their treatment of people of color. And I don't like using that statement of black people. Alright? Of black people. But they want to play crazy as if we don't know we get treated separately and different from everyone else. Oh, you see, you're playing the race card. Oh, who plays the race card is them. It's absolutely insane. So it says, Floyd's killing sparked massive racial injustice protests across the nation and around the world over the way police treat people of color. Practically black Americans in the U.S. and investigation by the Minnesota Department of Human Rights revealed that Minneapolis and its police department engaged in a pattern of practice of racial discrimination, according to the 2022 report. Now, we don't need a report. We have all these reports for black people. And it's not Minneapolis, it's this country itself. We know this country is built and based on absolute racism. But if we call it out, now somehow we're playing the race card. If we call out the common sense things that we deal with and that we see on a day-to-day basis, because it makes white people uncomfortable, now we're playing the race card. Somehow we're playing the race card by pointing out injustice done to black people. I would like to know and understand how we play the race card by just telling the obvious truth. We don't need, we don't need no human, investigation. We don't need investigations to know this. We know that's what's going on. We don't need investigations to tell us this. Oh, that camera, what happened? So the camera comes back on. So we got that camera went off. Turn it back on. The Erickson said Chauvin's notoriety makes him a target in prison. What you think? You think? His notoriety makes him a target in prison. You think? There's a huge portion of inmate population that wants to make a name for themselves by killing them, he said. Well, of course. Of course they want to get rid of his ass. Of course they want to kill him. They don't want to make a name for themselves so much. They want to right an injustice that was done. So of course the high, he's a high noticeable individual, noticeable inmate, right? Earlier this week, the U.S. Supreme Court rejected an appeal from Chauvin and his state conviction after he argued he didn't receive a fair trial. The High Court rejected Chauvin's appeal without comment or a recorded vote. Oh, they just said no. They don't want to deal with it. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the story right there, yeah. Alright, that's the story right there on that one. Okay. Get out of there. Quick, family, 1 second.
I'm not a lawyer, but Ella Reed has also been.
Alright, here we go. So, like I said, you expect me to build any kind of sympathy for this white supremacist. If they put them back in general population, this is bound to happen. And I just wanted to cover that because I said I came across my wire. And I wanted to also discuss about some other issues that's going on as well. That we have unfortunately happening in the black community as far as these illegal, they want to call them migrants. I don't call them migrants, illegal aliens that's been flooded into the black community now. Alright? So I'm done talking about Chauvin, nothing more I can say about him. Hopefully he recovers. I don't want any harm to come to him, to tell the truth. I want him to be able to serve out his time. I don't want him stabbed up and murdered. I think that's too good for him. I want him to do that hard time. I don't want him just taken off the planet. I want him to do that hard time when you walk around for the next 20 years trying to, console yourself about the taking of innocent life. That you had no regard for. I want that to sit in your back of his mind and realize this is the reason why you're not free. This is the reason why you can't go outside and can't, do what you want to do. You got to be careful in certain situations, certain environments that can end your life. I want them to live with that perpetual state of fear. The same kind of fear black people live in when they step outside their house and they got to deal with any of these racist ass cops. Everybody tells you they're not racist. None of them are racist. That's what they keep telling you. None of these wicked ass cops are racist. That's the nonsense they tell you. none of these wicked ass cops are racist to black people. But you always see them murdering black people. Then they come up with some false statistics. Some false statistics say, oh, it's not really, you have this moron, you guys had me listen to, I can't listen to this more, that Alex Jones idiot talking about, he'll come on every now and then talking about, it's really black people that's killing white people. Now everybody black, no, that's a goddamn lie, because black people are not the power structure on this planet, right? This is how idiotic this argument becomes, because the majority of people in prison are black men, either black men or black women. And we're only 13% of the population. So statistically, that's an impossibility for you to be the ones always in prison when you're nothing more than 13% of any population. Okay? That's a statistical impossibility, especially an improbability. But they'll gaslight you. It's black people killing white people. Black people know if they kill white people, they're going to prison. You got more black on black crime than you ever got any black on white crime, because people kill where they live. Okay? People kill where they live. And since the black population has been so put upon, so destroyed, socially engineered to be deranged and out of their minds, socially engineered to be impoverished because the war on blackness within the United States. People act crazy like the government does not have an ongoing war against black people. And then when you point this out, you're the one race baiting. These are facts. I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable and you can't understand. These are facts. This is the way society was built. Okay? And that's why I don't want no harm to come to him. I want him to sit in that damn jail cell. I want to have 20 years to think of the crime he committed when he couldn't give another human being simple humanity. You already had him handcuffed. You already had him on the ground. Okay. Let me get a drink. This is somebody trying to join. You already had him handcuffed. You already had him on the ground. Now what more could he done? What more threats could he have been to you? Okay? What more kind of a threat could he have been to you? Absolutely none. He was no threat. But you still felt the need to go and supplicate this man. So we're dealing with psychopathy, family. Most of these police that run across America, they're psychopaths. They're dealing with psychopathy. That's why you can never go into this system and change the police culture. The culture is psychopathy, it's psychopathic, especially towards black people. So you can never go and try to, I'm gonna infiltrate the system and change the system from within. No, it's a culture of psychopathy. You can't change the culture of psychopathy. It has to be completely torn down. You don't let nobody gaslight you by saying that you are, race baiting. The whole thing is utter nonsense. How can I be race baiting any damn body when it's you? How can I be race baiting anybody? Who am I race baiting? Who am I race baiting? So, I wanted to talk about family. So I'm done talking about that, right? Not much more I can give, no much more commentary I can give to that. I hope Derek Chauvin actually gets well. I do. I wish him the best. I want him to get well. I want him to go back to prison and live in this kind of fear. His life can end at any measure. That's better. See, when you torment a person, that's actually better. I don't want them to die. That's the easy way out. I don't want them dead. I want them to suffer. I want this man to suffer by doing his time and being fearful that he could be, hurt at any time. But I don't want him hurt. I don't want him. I want him to have a full, speedy recovery. I don't wish him any harm. I want him not to be harmed. I don't want him harmed. I don't want him harmed, but you put that out there like that. I don't want him harmed. It does me no good to see it. It does me no good to see him harmed. I want to make sure he's okay. So Derek Chauvin, for you, I pray you have a quick, speedy recovery, so you go back and serve your 20 more years left, and reflect on the murder that you committed on innocent man. That's my hope for you. That you have a speedy, quick recovery back to full health. And now you'll live with that fear too. That if they put me back in general population, I might not make it this time. Okay? I want you to live with that fear. That benefits me. I don't want you murdered. I don't want you to be stabbed and die. I want you to have a full, speedy recovery. I wish you nothing but the best. So now, fam, I want to start talking about this genocide that's happening in Palestine, right? I want to talk about the genocide that's happening in Palestine. And it's an open genocide, fam, that the rest of the world has decided to ignore. The Western powers that are controlled by these Zionists and all the cabinets and all the upper echelons of government. Now it's been exposed about time. And understand, Zionism has nothing to do with Judaism. The separate entities. For so many years they were cops because they own all the media. They own every bit of media. So we can say this without like, oh, you anti-Semitic, you anti-Semitic, you anything about us, you anti-Semitic, you anti-Semitic. Now you can get out of here with that anti-Semitic because that's why the Hasidic Jews and the other Orthodox Jews do not agree with Zionism. Zionism is white supremacy on steroids, what you got. The complete dominance and control of the planet. These are the Zionists that were running South Africa, create that apartheid state, they would control that. Your Oppenheimers, your De Beers, these Zionist individuals, people that are running wild in Congo and all throughout Africa, most of these Zionists. Causing all this damage throughout the world. And finally the world is waking up and seeing and finally have enough guts to call it out. And that's what you're supposed to do as humane people on the planet. You're not supposed to see innocent men, women, and children get blown up and think anything justifies their murder. What kind of human being are you to try to justify innocent men, women, and children being completely eradicated from the earth? So the West is in a peculiar situation that they've been supporting genocide. See, now the ICC, this fake organization that the West created, is going to have to be turned on them or it's going to lose all. All. Listen. Or it's going to lose all of its abilities to try to convict anybody, especially Putin. It's going to lose all its relevance. Somebody's going to convict Putin's a war crime. How's Putin a war crime? Where did Putin indiscriminately bomb men, women, and children in the Ukraine? I'll wait. But Putin's supposed to be an ICC war criminal. Where did Putin bomb innocent men, women, and children indiscriminately like Israel has? And you know why? Because the Zionists have got control of the planet, especially in the West. The Zionists. And they hid behind the Jewish religion by saying you can't say anything about the Zionists, and then you're now anti-Semitic. You're not anti-Semitic by calling the Zionists a Zionist. The Jewish religion has nothing to do with Zionism. Most of these Zionists don't even believe in any God. But they still call themselves Jews. Remember, Judaism is a religion. But the Zionists think that they're a race because the Khazari told not everybody they're a race. They're not a race of people. It's a religion. Right? It's a religion. But now they want to tell you like most of these Zionists are what's the word? I'm having a brain fart right now. Atheists. Damn, I couldn't get it out. Most of these Zionists are atheists. Don't even believe in any kind of God. So how are they Jews? How do they qualify themselves as Jews where they are atheists? Judaism is a religion. How can you be an atheist Jew? That's oxymoronic on its face. That's oxymoronic on its face. You understand that, family? How do you be an atheist Jew? Because they're Zionists. They try to incorporate Zionism into Judaism and have us accept it. And finally, the rest of the world is waking up and starting to differentiate between the two. Zionism is not Judaism, and Judaism is not Zionism. And understand that Israel is a Zionist state, and it is a legal occupation given to them with the Balfour Declaration of Lord Rothschild back in I think it was 1914 or 1917. That you could just give somebody's land away is crazy, because that was the fall of the Ottoman Turk Empire, family. That's when they created all these fake countries called Saudi Arabia, Jordan, all these fake countries that were part of the Ottoman Turk Empire, so to make sure that the Arab race would do their bidding. All these other people classify themselves as Arabs now would do their bidding of Zionist power. So these are the people. Now, now you can easily connect the dots. These are the same people that are involved in the slave trade, the Zionists. They own the ships. Most of them own the plantations, whether they were in America, whether they were in Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Jamaica, the Zionists. Okay? It's the facts. These are all the lies and hidden history and they want to tell you. Right? And it was the Zionists that funded that fake civil rights movement that you guys didn't know with drug money. Right? As Dennis went on to research. You know, the Zionists, because we know the Zionists were the one that sponsored every black movement you think is controlled by black people's a lie. If it was real, it was undermined by the Zionists. Every time. Like that fake ass Black Lives Matter that was created by the Zionists. To have black people be involved in something that had nothing to do with them. They always put a black name on some of their bullshit. Black Lives Matter was actually anti-black. That was promoting homosexual and transgender lifestyles, which had nothing to do with black people. And I told you from the inception that this was fake and phony. It had nothing to do with us. Nothing at all. And so right now you see them trying to do a ceasefire. But the ceasefire is not going to last because now Israel's went too far. They're going to have to continue genocide, right? And they're going to be held to account. And everybody in the American government is going to be held to genocide. The rest of the world sees this as genocide because that's what this is. So if the ICC doesn't act, it ceased to exist as an organization. If everybody in Joe Biden's administration is not brought up on war crimes, anybody in the Israeli administration that's not brought up on war crimes, the ICC will cease to exist as a relevant body in the world. It can't exist anymore. You can't tell me that you charge Putin with war crimes who never murdered any men, women, and children indiscriminately. Nowhere in the Ukraine conflict you see Russia just bombing children and blowing them up. You don't see that nowhere. Israel's been doing it day by day by day. After that fake ass false flag, let's call it spade a spade. False flag of October 7th, right? All the lies and fake propaganda that the West has told to Israel. Like, here we go, we bombed Hamas. These hospitals are Hamas base. They got found out. See, they own the media, so all the lies they tell are not working anymore. No, Hamas has tunnels under this hospital that Israel built 40 years ago. So lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Easily debunked. These are war crimes. And someone's going to have to stand trial for these war crimes that have been committed in Gaza. Somebody's going to stand trial. On the ICC, that shit you got on Putin's going to fall by the wayside. The rest of the world's going to laugh at you, because if Netanyahu and his cabinet and the people that's responsible for this genocide in Gaza are not based on war crimes, ICC ceased to exist. If Joe Biden and his administration is not bought up on war crimes, ICC ceases to exist. It's a phony. It's phony. It's biased. It has nothing to do with any international criminal court. It's about white European power being able to say anybody non-white is now a criminal for doing things that they don't like. So they don't got to follow the same standards as the standards they want to put on everybody else. See, this is white supremacist Zionist hypocrisy at its major point, right? At the end of the day, it's hypocrisy. Do as I say, not as I do, kind of hypocrisy. Do as I say, not as I do. But they may have a little trouble. Let me share my screen, y'all. They may have a little trouble in. Hold on. Give me a second. Pause that. They may have a little trouble. The sound up. They've been having a little trouble in Israel. It's not going well as they thought it was. They're going to just go and commit genocide, and nothing was going to happen. They was going to move those people out of Gaza because, of course, you know, they found out that Gaza has oil and gas fields over there that they want, that the American government wants, the Zionists want, because the American government is just an extension of Israel. People that run the government are Zionists. All major institutions in America are run and controlled by the Zionists. That's just a fact. Doesn't make me anti-Semitic for telling the truth. Doesn't make me anti-Semitic to talk about the atheist damn Zionists running this government. You anti-Semitic to atheists who don't even worship their God of Judah. Huh? Told you most of them are atheists. So by definition, they cannot be Jews because they don't worship Judaism. It's a religion, not a race. That's why they're European Jews or Khazarians. That's what they are. That's not nothing to do with being anti-Semitic. Because a lot of them don't adhere to Zionism. They practice Judaism. Good for them. I got no problem with those people. They've done that to me. But yeah, I'm anti-Zionist. Zionists are racist. My voice on. They're I can't get out. Manipulative. Well, I can't get the word out. Fucking. Well, let me go ahead and show this. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. me know if you guys can hear it all right.
عندنا مجموعة 3 غواصين كمان قضية التبجيل في المبنى نفسه مباشرة.
Let me turn my camera up, you guys can do that myself.
اطلع قول يا رب.
I'm glad you guys can hear it. See it all right. Go back here. Because you see, Israel's not doing so well as they predicted. That they was going to commit genocide. These people were going to fight back. You know, came out with the fake news of beheading the babies and all other kind of lies. It hasn't been going their way. So a lot of the people just going to roll over and allow you just to genocide them. You know, that wasn't going to happen. So, you know, the story's a little bit different now. So I can find some other spot I had on here. Give me a second. See, these are the same people that's in the Congo as well, so let me show this too.
Guys, this is Dan Getla. This is one of the Zionists in Africa that have been supplying arms to the DRC, to Congo. Guys, this is Dan Getla. This is one of the Zionists in Africa that have been supplying arms to the DRC, to Congo. This is the guy that is the linchpin for most of the conflict we are seeing in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, this brings me to my point about what is going on in Palestine today. A lot of Africans have been asking me to drop.
Like I told you, Israel Zionists are all around Africa. Stealing and shit, robbing, killing. That's what they're doing. They make any kind of lies that, you know, they're the main ones in the Congo, stealing diamonds. They're the ones supporting, backing Kagame and Museveni, no good asses in the Congo. Kagame, wicked ass at the fake ass YouTube tries to put up, oh, he's fighting against the West. He's in the pocket of the West. Why they haven't overthrown his no good ass? Been there 25 years as a president of one country. Why these puppets in Africa, president 30, 40, 50 years, all this crazy, insane nonsense where they try to tell you it's a democracy. You know, nothing more but goddamn white hypocrisy. Not any damn democracy do they have in these African countries. People president 30, 40 years try to call it a democracy. Absolutely insane. Nonsensical. That's how despicable their lies are.
A parallel between what is going on in Palestine today with the bombardment, and the attempts to establish this colonial project in Palestine today and Africa. And I keep telling them there's a correlation. Because of the experience that we have as Africans have had, we can clearly understand what is going on there in Palestine. This is a colonialist project. This is a new colonialist project, as a matter of fact. The British and the British Empire continues. The Roman Empire continues. And what they are trying to do now is that they are bringing white people from Europe, bringing Ashkenazis from Europe to go to that land, to live among Arabs, and to stay in that strategic location to enable the British and the Americans to continue to steal resources out of not just the subcontinent within of Asia, but also Africa. They want to get resources out of the Middle East, and once they are done with them, they are going to move forward to the Sinai, they are going to move to Egypt, they are going to come down to the Sahel. And I'm glad that you guys are seeing it today. What is going on in Palestine today is a disgrace. And this guy is at the heart of the exploitation going on in Congo. A subtle exploitation by Zionists and their cohorts. People look at nation states and say, oh, America is doing this, oh, Britain is doing this. But there are people that are actually funneling money, low-key, and are participating in exploiting these systems. And America sending military troops, for instance, to Congo, is to protect the interests and assets of people like this. This guy has destabilized the eastern part of the DRC to the point whereby I think Donald Trump during his early days even sanctioned him. But through his connection in the IDF and through his connection to the son-in-law of Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, before Donald Trump left office, they removed most of those sanctions on him. And I think Joe Biden has reimposed those sanctions on this guy. These are the guys that are at the forefront of the exploitation of Africa. And it is clear to me, most of you guys don't even know the story of Rwanda. The Tutsis in Rwanda, they had support from the Zionists.
Of
and
course.
The regime of the Tutsis in Rwanda
that.
support from the Zionists, and they continue to get that support today. The same thing with Uganda and South Sudan. So they are using these countries as a base to exploit the Eastern DRC. I repeat, the exploitation we are seeing in the Eastern DRC today, this is one of the guys, there are so many of them, but this is one of the Zionists that is responsible for the chaos we are seeing in the eastern part of the DRC today. The presence of the United Nations troop there is completely useless. We don't want them there. Let them pack their bags and leave. And let the Zionists go back to where they belong. They are from Europe. They are from Central and Eastern Europe. Let them go back to their lands. And a lot of you keep thinking it's about tribal differences, it's about religious differences. It is not. That is not the point. These guys understand how these things work. So they create a system of divide and rule between us in order for them to come and exploit. Guys, this is Dan Getler. This is one of the Zionists in Africa that have been supplying arms to the DRC, to Congo. This is the guy that is the...
Sorry about that, guys. I didn't want that to go. To continue. Sorry about that. I got caught slipping. Something else I was looking for. Let's see. In the darkness. God's taking down. So, like I said, so you got open genocide. That's been going on. So that's these people's MO. When you see it on a smaller level, I'm trying to take you from the microcosm to the macrocosm on a smaller scale to a bigger scale. George Floyd, what happened to him is on a smaller scale, but it's the same mindset that blows up innocent individuals inside Gaza. Is an imperialist mindset that these psychopaths have. So from the microcosm to the macrocosm, the world is going to be in this kind of turmoil until we get these people out of power. These people are psychopaths. You're looking at psychopathy. From the microcosm to the macrocosm, it's a sickness. The higher you go, the more sick the system becomes. Right? The higher you go, the more sick the system becomes. It's psychopathy 101. That's what we see. I guess I want to talk about this damn Chicago issue too. I gotta do that tomorrow. I'm almost been over 2 hours already. Shit. Don't seem like it. See, this is what I'm talking about, the Rwandan problem, and I think I should let me share this.
To go and fight in Congo, Zimbabwe has deployed its soldiers alongside Angola and Namibia to go and fight in Congo against Rwandan-funded rebels who in many ways were actually Rwandan army and Ugandan army were being sent into Congo by the West to go and remove Laurent Kabila, who had become a president who wanted to take the resources of the country and give it to his people. And he had been assisted to get into power by removing Mobutu Sese Seko by the same Rwandans and the Ugandans. But there was an agreement that, listen here, you're going to go into power, take over from Mobutu Sese Seko, then you're going to take some of my guys, you know, some of my Rwandan military officials, and put them into your government and into your system, so that they could be more or less like proxies of Rwanda.
Of course, because I mean, we've helped you gain power. We need to benefit. We need to get payments. That's probably the agreement.
And not only did they want payment, Rwanda is a small country with no mineral resources, and it needed something to develop off. So they needed the eastern part of Congo, which is quite rich in resources, as part of their territory that they were going to be able to get resources from in order to pay for the assistance they gave Laurent Kabila, but more critically, in order to also assist them to grow their country. Right? So when that happened, they sent their troops. Their troops went all the way and got into Kinshasa.
Oh, that's a good question, Michelle. What about the who's capturing all these ships? I know they're blowing up a lot of Israeli ships. I know the Iranians are too. I don't know. I've got no answer to all those individuals in Yemen capturing ships or blowing up ships of the Israelis. I had to look more deeply into it. I got no really good information to substantiate whether that's true or not. I'd have to do some research. I don't trust no mainstream media to tell me anything about anything. Anything they say, I know it's the complete opposite.
This close to removing Laurent
Kinshasa is the capital of the DRC.
Yeah. So Laurent Kabila ran to Zimbabwe, which at that time had Mugabe as the head of the SADC organ that currently Hichilema is sitting on now. So as head of the SADC organ was created by independent frontline states that were built by revolutionary movements to actually fight imperialism collectively. So there was this what we call common defense pact that they always had to defend each other. Hence we were able to work together to remove the apartheid government by going to war against it in Mozambique, Angola, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. So that same principle is the principle in 1996 they used to create the SADC organ. So Mugabe, being the head of the SADC organ, he as Congo, which is a member of SADC, saying we're being attacked by the Rwandans and the Ugandans and Burundians. We need your help, otherwise they're going to remove the current president. Robert Mugabe then convenes a meeting as quickly as possible in August of 1998, and immediately they agreed to deploy soldiers.
Kabila reneged on the agreement he had with Uganda and Rwanda. Was he in the wrong? Because based on the story you're telling me, it's almost like, look, we're going to help you gain power. But after you gain power, you have to look out for us. And maybe there was some kind of selling out at the end with the Rwandans and the Ugandans, maybe, and the Burundians get greedy.
I think You ask a good question. I think the issue is on leaders who make decisions for nations without the authority of that nation. So in as much as Kabila needed to, well, the authority of the nation are the people in a democracy. What your people want is what moves. But what happened is Kabila made it. I do. Because what happened now is it was untenable for Kabila to honor what he had promised before he was elected as president, and now he gets into power and these people don't want to see Rwandans in their military system. They don't want foreigners to be sitting there telling their nation that it's okay to allow Rwandans to come and loot our nation and to loot the resources of our nation. So he made an agreement that made sense when he was in the bush without the mandate of the people. But the moment he got into power, it didn't make sense for him to have foreigners looting the resources of the people that have given him a mandate to protect their resources. This is where the problem came.
May I please intervene if you don't mind? Because now you're making me think about the ANC government and the agreements that were made with maybe apartheid South Africa, some wealthy South Africans that are white, and maybe the West and other people. Because this is why I asked, do you believe that the people should give the mandate? And the majority of black South Africans who constantly give a mandate to the leadership are almost never considered. And it becomes a situation where, let's say Kabila actually honored the agreements. I'm making assumptions. I don't know how true all of this stuff is. If it honored the agreements, it's like, I don't care how you guys feel, the Minister of Defense is going to be from Rwanda, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is going to be from Uganda, etc. And we're like, that's rubbish. This is our land, these are our resources, who the hell are these people? And you can try and explain, look, we had an agreement, it's like, no, this is ours, they must go back to wherever they came from. And you commit, which is arguably what the ANC has done. Until, debatable, Zuma came and said, I don't know if this is what the people want and we want a new deal. It's like, this is not what we agreed on. Bring Cyril in to honor the agreement we made all the way back in Kodesa, and could we argue that it's something like that?
It's something very similar to that, but
the people of the DRC were like, we don't want these guys here, but Kabila had made a deal, and then Kabila was like, I need to put my people first. And the Rwandans and Ugandans and Burundians were like, nah. So if you won't respect us, we're coming in.
Zimbabwe has deployed.
All right. I just wanted to show the chaos that's happening all globally, because you got a genocide right now in the Congo, not just in Palestine, but Africa, and black people don't get the same kind of coverage because we're black. So you got a genocide happening right now because of the Zionists that control England, France, and America are in there looting and funding other countries, other African despots like a Museveni in Uganda and a Paul Kagame in Rwanda, where they're going in there and killing innocent men, women, and children so they can steal the resources out of that country to support their industrial desires. As far as getting cobalt, coltan, diamonds, gold, then also down doing, massive mining with children and women in these fucking mines and destroying the ecology of the country, right? Just destroying the ecology with digging up lithium for these batteries, for these no good Teslas that don't work, they're not going to work. It's the technology, it doesn't work, it's all propaganda. They don't care because it makes them money. So people run around talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is no hero of mine. He's another homicidal, genocidal maniac. Because he knows what's going on in the Congo. You people talking about, oh, he freed up Twitter. Twitter's still goddamn censored. If you say certain things, you'll be kicked off of there. That's why my numbers haven't grown on that goopy app. Because you can't say nothing that's real on it. It might be less as intrusive, less censored than most of the other sites, but still censored. Still shadow banned. You can't get any reach out on that goopy app. Because they don't want the truth to come out no way, no shape, no how. So, please stop telling me that the exploits of Elon Musk, who's backing open genocide in the Congo and everybody else, everyone, these phone comes, everybody knows what's going on. No one's ignorant, and then these international corporations controlled by BlackRock. Oh, BlackRock run by Zionists again, huh? Vanguard and BlackRock, which owns the majority of the countries, has the majority stock holdings of most of the Fortune 500 companies on this planet. And that's probably Zionist again. So if I go back and track down the mining companies, whether they be Chinese, European, or American, the controlling interest is going to be BlackRock. Huh? The Zionists again. The same Zionists. They call you anti-Semitic. They got open genocide in the Congo. Where's the UN at? Oh, remember the UN was created by the Zionists too. Where's the UN at? Oh, they were there for 25 years and couldn't do anything. Couldn't get the M23 fake ass rebels from Rwanda. They couldn't go and just wipe them out. They were too busy robbing and stealing. That's what the UN was doing there for 25 years. Robbing, stealing, committing rape and torture. Raping people. That was been already proven. 25 years they couldn't stop none of these rebel groups. They couldn't do none of that. They were, but they gave enough time to steal, diamonds and gold and, everything's not nailed down. They could do that. So, and this is how you're dealing with control entities.
So every celebrity,
go ahead.
Every celebrity had.
So remember last year when Kanye was telling the truth about who actually controls this planet, the Zionists, and he got canceled all his deals. It was all, oh, that's a lie, stop it. You're not supposed to know who controls you. This Kanye telling the truth about who controls you. And he's a moron. If a moron like Kanye knows, you should know. If this moron knows, you should know too.
Folks, every celebrity has Jewish people in their contract. This is not hate speech. This is the truth. And these people, if you say anything out of the line with the agenda, then your career could be over.
Listen, I hear you made that point. Because the point is,
and this guy being a Zionist shield because they own the network he's working for, he's got to try to cut Kanye off. You get it? That's where all your propaganda comes, all your lies come from. They own all the media. And I'm saying that we're supposed to be anti-Semitic because it's a fact. So you get only one narrative. You don't get a plethora of narratives to help you maneuver yourself through lies. You're given nothing but lies, fake narratives, lies, propaganda. Then when you speak out against the propaganda, you're an anti-Semite. Well, you have nothing against Jewish people whatsoever. You got something against Zionism, which is not Judaism. There's no problem with Jewish people, but I do got a problem with Zionists that run this planet, that keep all this wicked shit going on, this stealing, this grab, this imperialism that they sponsor and back and put into motion. I do have a problem with that.
Yes, sir. Here's why.
Don't cut me off, sir. Respect.
I've listened to it. You made it several times.
No, I'm not finished, sir.
I understand, but you said it several times.
I'm not finished, sir. But my people haven't heard me. My people, they need to hear me saying out loud what the truth is. There's a bunch of people in Hollywood that are actors, that play basketball, that play sports, that are in music, that know what I'm saying, that feel what I'm saying, and they're happy that I'm saying what I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah, they control all anybody. All your agents, whether it be in entertainment, athletics, music, all have the same persuasion. Ain't that funny? What a coincidence again, huh? What a coincidence that you say this out loud. Say it out loud, you're crazy. You get canceled. You say it out loud, how dare you say this out loud? You know? Some on the show, you see. What phones I can't put on this other thing. How dare you say this truth out loud? Take a grab a look.
Ambassador Pope.
Kill the Jewish people. We're not killing any Jewish person. We're not supporting any organization that says it wants to kill Jewish pregnant women and children. We're not part of that nonsense. A revolutionary at all material times must be guided by the feelings of love. We love humanity. Therefore, we love our women and our children. How do you bomb a hospital? Even if the president of Hamas ran into that hospital, is hiding in that hospital, you can't bomb that hospital. How do you bomb a refugee camp? Even if Hamas ran into that refugee camp, you are in no position to bomb a refugee camp. Comrades, those guys are involved in ethnic cleansing. They want to wipe off the Palestinians. This is a genocide. It's an international crime. And ICC must issue a warrant of arrest against Netanyahu. Why do you issue a warrant of arrest on Putin, who has not done what Netanyahu has done to the people of Palestine?
I tried to invite you,
from government is absolutely sickening. There was no issue or problem referring Russia to the International Criminal Court. The hypocrisy.
Exactly. Should have been now. Everybody's realizing, like I said, these are crimes against humanity. And the International Criminal Court now showed itself to be the goddamn puppet organization that it was built to be. Only convicts those out to African countries, African leaders, or other leaders outside of Western purview, as far as America, Australia, and all of Europe, and the Zionists. So it's a toothless tiger. It's phony. It's been, it's been called out for what it is. A non-existent organization that has no gravitas to talk about subjecting anybody to any of its dictates as far as criminal war crimes are concerned. No one can tell you the ICC anymore has the legitimacy to prosecute anyone on this planet anymore. It's been proven illegitimate by the world population. It's been shown as an illegitimate thing that it is.
It's absolutely clear and unacceptable. In the past 24 hours, I've received thousands of emails from the public asking that Ireland take a stand against the horror, the genocide, the carpet bombing engulfing the Gaza Strip. From contacts there, I've been told that dogs are starting to eat the corpses of the bodies in the rubble,
and it's a never-ending horror. We are witnessing genocide.
Yeah, Chris on TikTok, I tried to invite you this morning.
Palestine. Tomorrow, it could be anyone. We need to see the international community take a stand against genocide occurring in Gaza. There has to be a cost to Israel ignoring international law. Israel has faced no diplomatic consequences for international law, committing war crimes, and this must change. So Ireland must step up and refer Israel to the International Criminal Court. We saw the pressure the ICC arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin has created, severely restricting his travel out of the fear of arrest. Israel must be referred to the ICC, and Ireland must do this.
Gaza has become a graveyard for children. A child is killed every 10 minutes. The Irish government should refer Israel to the International Criminal Court and expel the Israeli ambassador. Israel must stop its slaughter in Gaza. Only a peace process, dialogue, and international law can deliver peace and Palestinian freedom. From Ireland, we say, ceasefire now.
Now, I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking the same thing myself. The ICC is corrupt as shit. It doesn't matter, right? They're not going to prosecute nobody. They're controlled by the Zionist Jews. Well, I'm going to show you in a second how that, even though, yeah, they are corrupt, they're not going to have a choice. I'm going to show you how they're not going to have a choice. I'm going to put forth a sequence of events, how this will play out, and you'll see how this is going to go. There will be prosecutions, provided that these false flags don't occur and we don't go down the other timeline. But this heat is really picking up. You know, Turkey has already filed with the ICC. He has have Colombia. Yeah. Showed it.
Oh, my internet started acting up. What's going on? What's going on my internet?
Okay.
It started acting out. What's going on?
Africa.
What the hell just happened?
Part of genocide to prove isn't in this case. He wrote in his resignation letter, quote, explicit statements of intent by leaders in the Israeli government and military leave no room for doubt or debate. You claim that you want Israel to make the distinction, but you don't seem to be making the distinction. If I might, I didn't interrupt you. The Center for Constitutional Rights just put out a statement. Legal organizations put members of Congress on notice for complicity on genocide. Quote, please take note, this is a letter that they sent to members of Congress, Center for Constitutional Rights. Please take notice that should you vote in favor of that package, private package for Israel, you risk facing criminal and civil liabilities for aiding and abetting genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity under international law, and may face investigation and prosecution. The members of the State Department face similar possibilities.
Again, Sam, as I said, we have the U.S. government has a rigorous process.
So they're skirting around the issue of asking about genocide because they're openly backing a genocide, and they're trying to use weasel words to get out of it. The ICC will lose complete credibility if it does not prosecute every American individual responsible for this genocide. I mean, every American institution is now responsible for genocide in Gaza. It's a fact. Ben said that. It's a fact. But now you see who actually controls the world. It's the Zionists that they never wanted to tell you about. Control Hollywood. They got control of all your media. Control all your damn institutions in this country and around the planet. They're the ones that control your banking system. That allows them to bribe everybody to put in their damn individual back pocket. That's what all the bribery and the Jeffrey Epstein shit's about with Mossad and the CIA. They have all these honey traps and all this pedophilia and shit going on, and they still release these people's black book. How long has Jeffrey Epstein been dead, supposedly? 4 years now. Still got a list of the people that's been on the goddamn island. Why not? These are your politicians and your goddamn media personalities. that they were already blackmailed for having sex with children. That's why. We don't know. Inconveniently, Epstein, when he committed suicide, oh, the guards were gone and the camera didn't work, so you know he's not dead. They control everything. With the fake media coming out, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein hung himself in prison, but the 2 guards were gone and no one knew, and there's no film of him hanging himself. And that's the way it is. Yeah? No film, no body shown, guards are gone. Guards are gone, right? But he killed himself. Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone knows how mysterious shit happens when it concerns these elite individuals are involved in these serious crimes against humanity. No one knows shit. Things disappear. Guards are nowhere around. It's the strangest thing in the world, isn't it?
In place for evaluating whether something constitutes genocide, and we have not made that assessment.
They have made that assessment where genocide is. Everybody knows what genocide is. Genocide in Gaza, like it's genocide in the Congo. They've made that assessment that it's genocide yet. We just don't know what genocide is. You know, there's 1,000 kids being blown up and murdered, but we don't know what genocide is. We haven't determined that. See, they've always had the power to say any goddamn thing and nothing ever happened to them. But now the world is finally coalescing against the Zionist power and saying no more. These are people that have dictated the rules on this planet for over the last 200 years, starting with that fucked up Bank of England that the Rothschilds took control of in the late 1800s, 17 something, but the late 1800s, where they took it over. I mean, the late 18th century, I mean. The late 1700s, which is the late 18th century.
They're talking about hospital after hospital, bakery after bakery, university after university, and somehow you keep pretending that, oh, they're just after military people.
Exactly.
Let's bring this up. Will the ICC take up these charges that have been leveled by Turkey and other countries?
No.
I don't know. Let's say they don't, right? Say they're as corrupt as we all believe.
They're not.
They are, because they didn't prosecute any of the Nuremberg Code violations from COVID. So let's say that's what they do. They just say, turn the blind eye and say, no, we're not going to take it up. Well, there is a massive amount of nations.
Of course, they're devastated. Sure, they got genocide being committed against them.
Every single country on earth are down with the Zionists. They're just, that's just a fact, man.
Of course, they're devastated, Michelle. They've been, they got open genocide being practiced on them. So of course, they're devastated. It's kind of hard not to be devastated when people have now been practicing open genocide and propaganda on you. That's not working though. At least now it's finally not working. That's why you're in the midst of an awakening. This is, what they call revelations or apocalypse, whatever. Apocalypse means things that are now going to be revealed. That's what apocalypse means, the revealing of things. And finally, people understand that the Zionists are in control of this planet, and they're wicked and they're fucking evil. The wickedest shit. They're the ones that have been in control of all this wicked shit on this planet. And now they're being exposed. Even with their media monopoly, no one's buying none of that shit they're selling in their fake media. People know it's a lie. They turn away from it. The mass mind control that they own and control, it's not working. And the scare, Israel might not even survive after this. Might not, I don't know, but because there's nobody who can survive this. These are crimes against humanity. And if Netanyahu and all his cabinet officials are not charged and persecuted, and Biden's administration, his cabinet, and all these top level officials are not charged and persecuted, Well, you got now a world that is free reign. No one wants to hear that shit from nobody no more.
So, the first thing it'll do, it'll go to the UN Security Council. Well, the United States has a veto there. So, will they veto it? I don't know. We'll see. You know, there's been numerous proposals for a ceasefire, and the United States, Israel, Britain, Hungary, and a few other handful of countries vetoed it. Right? So it's possible that they will. But then the next step is to go to the General Assembly. Right? In which case, that bypasses the Security Councils and the veto, and if the majority, which it will be the majority, vote to send this to, first to demand an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid, stop the genocide, and then to push this to the ICC. The ICC...
You know, right now they got a pause and everything's going on right now, but it's not going to last. Israel will continue its genocide because they want to remove everybody from Gaza, steal the land, and like I said, they finally has gas and oil, and they want to control that gas and oil. See, this is open, unadulterated genocide. I don't think America and Israel will be able to recover from this because it's too much in your face. It's blatant genocide. No matter how much the news tries to gaslight you and these Zionists try to lie to you, oh, what about Hamas? What about mass atrocities? That was a false flag, phony. There's no way you could practice on those little jet things, whatever you call them, whatever you call them, backpack jets, whatever you call them, them sky jets, whatever you call them damn things, in Gaza because it's monitored 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Nothing gets in or out of that area without Israel knowing it or okaying it. So then nobody was learning how to fly these things. Where they learn to fly them at? Couldn't practice in Gaza. Couldn't practice how to fly these things in Gaza. And then we found out it was Israel that killed all his own people, shooting at these cars indiscriminately again, and then blaming it on Hamas. That's what all this terrorism shit has been, fam. This is the greater Israel project that you need to understand. Reason why we went to Afghanistan, Iraq, this was to destroy these countries so Israel could grab more land. Reason why we went to war to Syria, we were going to war to Somalia, they on Egypt. That's why they're talking about going to war with Iran. It had nothing to do with this. It's not sponsored anything, because this is the greater Israel project to allow bigger Israel to steal land and then make its other countries around its weak, its neighboring countries weak, so it can't retaliate of them stealing parts of Syria, parts of just gobbling all of Kuwait, parts of Saudi Arabia, all of Jordan. See, this is a dirty little scam that's going on. That's why we went to Iraq again after the fake 9/11 that they did, that the Mossad did. The Mossad and the CIA did 9/11, family. Didn't know Muslims with box cutters. They own the media, so they scared everybody with the Islam shit and the terrorism shit. And they had you do something called that damn Patriot Act. It was antithetical to everything being an American patriot would be. It would lock you down and cause more surveillance. That patriot, because you was all caught up in fear, scare you with the fake Muslim shit. Oh, the Muslim terrorists. All the terrorism on this planet is the Mossad, MI6, and the CIA. They create it, they fund it, they back it. That's them. To destabilize countries and destabilize the United States, to have you admit or freely give your consent for these terrible ass, wicked ass, illegal wars on other people. Through their propaganda, you really give your consent because you're scared to death about the Muslims and terrorism and all that shit. These lies they tell you. They're the ones doing it. They told you Assad was gassing and bombing his own people. You found out when Russia got involved, they were blowing up CIA agents with the terrorists. Because they are the terrorists. They're ISIS. They're Al-Qaeda. They're Al-Nusra. They're the same people in the Sahel in Africa, the terrorists over there, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, that's them. You get it? That's them.
Well, have a choice, man. Either they cease to exist, or they protect their own ass, and they prosecute.
Yeah, the Golan.
Because if they say no,
yeah, the Golan Heights that they stole from Syria.
Revealed that
the Golan Heights that they stole from Syria still haven't given it back. They want to expand. Exactly right, Jibba Jabba. This was the plan. It isn't a dirty little secret. This is the plan.
They're absolutely in the pockets of the Zionists in America, Israel, and Britain. Yeah. Right? These guys here, the almighty dollar, right? The old CAI, the Rothschilds, right? That's who owns the deed to Israel. That's what this is all about. And just to show you that there's something to this, Trudeau was served with a notice of intent to prosecute for complicity in genocide. And just like that, Trudeau flips and now says Israel must stop bombing babies. Oh, wow, huh? So obviously there's something to this, because this guy's guilty as shit for a whole bunch of crimes against humanity, but he must be really scared, right? Otherwise he wouldn't have flipped, and he did. Now, this stuff is so obvious. Listen to the Western coordinator for the, the Al-Sharif Hospital in Gaza, and I'm going to show you what happened. She's begging for intervention, begging for the international community.
They went to this hospital, they killed all these people. The Israelis went in this hospital, these people were doing work, trying to save babies. They killed them on incubators and everything else. So what you guys will watch is pay close attention to this next clip.
This hospital from being attacked.
We, as medical staff, want to leave, but we cannot. We might not survive until the morning.
Now remember, Israel murdered all these people.
I don't know why the sound was so low.
Please do whatever you can for your government or the international. The ICRC, the Red Cross, to arrange a safe corridor for the medical staff. Please treat this as top urgent. This is the director of the major trauma hospital in Gaza.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Now, of course, the hospital was attacked. Israel actually went in, and they cut off the power, and so everybody that was on oxygen died. All the babies that were in incubators suffocated to death and died. This is what that looks like.
الطبي والآن يتم نقلهم. على أمل أن يتم نقلهم في ظروف مواتية، إن شاء الله تكون ظروف مواتية، يعني في خارج مجمع الشباب يتم نقلهم أن يسكنوا التنسيق لنقلهم خارج هؤلاء الأصل أن يكون كل ضيع منهم على جهاز خاص به، على حضانة خاصة به، ولكن للأسف.
Now remember the big story they told you about in Iraq 30 years ago about taking incubators? Saddam was taking babies out of the incubators and throwing them on the floor. Now this Israel really doing that, cutting out the oxygen, and all these babies did die. They were all in incubators on oxygen. So these babies you see right there are dying. They all died. These are war crimes. These are war crimes. And you have the damn psychopathic United States trying to justify this shit here, along with the Zionist goddamn Israelis. Trying to justify this. See, we got no dog in the fight. but I don't get any joy in seeing, innocent men, women, and children murdered, genocided. Because as black people, we are humane people. That's who we are.
هذا هو حال الوضع على القدس بطابس هذا الحال هكذا هؤلاء الأطفال هم الأضعف من الأكثر عرضة للموت في حضانة مجمع الشفاء الطبي. يعني هناك العشرات، لا أدري ما العدد بالضبط، ولكن العشرات من الأطفال الخدج متواجدون داخل حضانة مجمع الشفاء الطبي، والآن يتم نقلهم.
Now remember, Israel says that those babies were Hamas terrorists, and they deserve to die for the choices that they made. And they're not hiding this. Listen to this cycle.
Innocent people that are in Gaza now.
Exactly right, Michelle. She wasn't a princess. She was a Kuwaiti.
Back to Israel.
She was a diplomat of Kuwait's daughter. The ambassador to America's daughter. That's who she was. Yeah, she still was high up on the food chain though.
We will go. Shiva Hospital, all the hospitals, all the tunnels, and kill them all. It's about time.
Kill them all.
The world knows that.
There's
no argue about that.
The world knows that. The world don't know that. These people are psychopaths.
Yeah, Israel is saying that they had to bomb that hospital. They had to do it. And that's not the only hospital they bombed. They bombed several. And they murdered so many civilians. But the reason that they're saying is Hamas was using it, they had tunnels, blah, 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 blah. For one, even if that was the case, that doesn't justify bombing a hospital. Under international law, it's all about proportionality. You can't murder civilians to get one or two or it's...
Yeah, you can't do collective punishment, family. That's a war crime. You can't punish people collectively for the attributes of one individual or for the behavior of a few individuals and then take it out on the collective. These are war crimes. You can't take the bank robbers if the bank robbers run into a town and then bomb the whole town collectively for the bank robbers' deeds because they ran into that town. And that's what Israel's doing. These are war crimes.
Yes, you can't do that. And here's the tunnels.
Here we found a tunnel that Hamas used to hide. And as you can see, this is the electricity goes down.
Nah, that's the whole time. We're going to show this.
To the tunnel. This tunnel is 20 meters deep. Hello, Hamas? No,
that's the whole. None of the Zionist control media is going to show this.
They use to hide behind.
You're making a joke.
Yeah, that was obviously a spoof. It was a joke. But you know what else is a joke? The actual evidence that Israel's using to justify bombing the hospital and murdering all of those babies and everyone that we saw on that video. All those children are dead. They're dead. And this is the excuse. Look at this. This is freaking retarded.
So the IDF has been in Shiva Hospital for several hours now. Let's see what they could have possibly found to justify their genocidal bombing campaign of all the hospitals in Gaza.
So we're inside the MRI center of the Shiva Hospital. Israeli troops breached here a few hours ago, and we have cleared the area, made sure that it's safe. And a few of the most interesting things that we have found totally confirmed, without any doubt, that Hamas systematically uses hospitals in their military operations in violation of international law. And what we have found, I think, is only the tip of the iceberg. Let me show you a few examples. Security cameras have been obstructed. All of the security cameras are covered, and this isn't the only one. You'll see the rest of them here.
So there's a broken security camera, and therefore that justifies their bombing of the hospital, the sniping of doctors, and preventing food, water, medicine, electricity from getting to 1,000.
This propaganda is so bad, it's hilarious. Look at this. See the terrorist thing? And these morons said, look at some kind of computer. The morons forgot to erase the computer. They see that there was some Israeli military personnel on a computer picture on there. That's how moronic these people are with their fake propaganda. It's all cut and paste together, but they forgot there was a woman on the computer that was part of their military, so obviously it came from them, not from Hamas.
Just minutes ago. In military terms, this is a grab bag. Grab bag of a Hamas commander. We need to zoom in and we get some light over here.
Get some light.
There are the grenades in here, of course, uniforms, and all of that. This was hidden very conveniently, secretly behind the.
This is the propaganda they show you.
Behind an MRI machine and some metal behind an MRI machine. Yeah, that was totally there the whole time. You didn't put that there yourself afterwards. You're not so stupid that you didn't think about the contradiction of putting metal behind an MRI machine and expecting us to believe that it was there the whole time. No.
Oops. Well.
Have been obstructed. You can see there's black tape covering it.
And this, of course, justifies all the atrocities of all the multiple hospitals that they've gone for the last month.
And when our troops opened this closet here, which is in the main part of the clinic, this is what they found.
You totally couldn't have put those bags there yourself.
The contents of the bag are full military kit for one Hamas terrorist.
All of this, all the bombing and the destruction of the hospital for a bag for one Hamas guy, that's right. And, this Hamas guy laid out his stuff very neatly on this table, supposedly, so that you could find it, very organized. Yeah, that wasn't planted there.
Let's have a look at what we found inside the very same cabinet. There's insignia, military insignia, a knife. For those of you who read Arabic, you'll be able to understand what it says here. That it's Hamas, the military wing, Taib al-Qassam, of course a vest with equipment.
Just that one vest, just conveniently laid out, just on that one bench at that hospital for him to find. Nothing suspicious about that at all. I mean, if you were going to plant stuff, why didn't you make a stockpile? You promised us a stockpile. Or would have that taken too much time to make?
And as always, an AK-47, standard gear, grab and go.
Grab and go.
The last item, which I'm sure will be very interesting to analyze, is a laptop.
It's a laptop, guys. That's it. Everything's justified.
We found it in the MRI room. This is how the laptop looks.
That's no laptop.
I don't know who it belonged to, but now it is being analyzed by our Intel people.
The backpack is being analyzed by their Intel people.
Practical radio communications, which we will analyze. Lots of discs, which will be analyzed.
He's not just a clown. He's the whole clown car.
And a computer, which at first glance already provides a lot of incriminating evidence.
Incriminating evidence.
That was the name. You even know her name? I know the image right there, exactly. I know what her name was, Michelle.
Uploaded another video where the background wasn't blurred, and lo and behold, the background is actually a picture of a female IDF.
Yeah, picture of an Israeli. Exactly. So you even know her name. The propaganda is so bad, the lies are so crazy that they're fucking up in their own lies. Exactly right, Michelle. They mess up in their own fake lies, their own fake story. Whole Israeli IDF officer, the Israeli Defense Force. IDF officer, because it's obviously their computer. This is all plant propaganda that they were showing the media, in the mainstream media in the West. Oh, look at the Hamas. This hospital was a controlled center for terrorism. All the terrorists are Mossad, CIA, MI6. There are no organic terrorist groups on the planet. They're all funded, backed, and started by these intelligence agencies to make sure they maintain power. By saying, oh, we got to go stop terrorism that they fund and back. It's a lie. Look at this lady on this damn computer. This is absolutely crazy.
Older. So they probably realized their mistake in post-editing, and they decided, instead of filming the whole thing again, let's just blur it. So this was to show you that pretty much everything that they've shown us has been planted, including this IDF laptop. That's the kind of evidence that we come to expect from the Israelis. Fake nurses that turned out to be Israeli.
Yeah, you gotta get the see. I don't know. You know this fake nurse. Oh, Hamas has killed people and they killed us in the hospital. This fake ass, Israeli ass woman again, lying that she's a nurse inside. She's a Palestinian nurse inside the hospital, and the Hamas is killing the nurses. Oh, Hamas is killing the nurses. Oh. She's another IDF officer lying and making up propaganda. You can't believe shit these people say, shit these people do. It's all lies.
Hospitals, like that Al-Qaeda pamphlet that was supposed to be connecting Hamas to Al-Qaeda, that was supposed to be found on one of the Hamas guys.
Yeah, they found Al-Qaeda pamphlet. They also found, and then they also walked through one of the, look, we found a book of Mein Kampf. They even put that in there. These morons had said they found a book of Mein Kampf. That Hamas was reading a book of Mein Kampf by Hitler. They do the same old copy and paste Zionist bullshit. Telling us it was anti-Semitic for the crimes against humanity that they are committing. Oh, look at this. This justifies killing babies because somebody was reading the third edition of Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, who the Zionists created, family. See, they don't tell you that. It's all lies in the fake movies. The Zionists funded, bounded, and backed and brought to power Hitler. They funded his ass. They brought him to power. But somebody in Mars was reading Mein Kampf.
That turned out to be just the front cover of a book that is widely available online, and humiliated the Israeli president to announce that thing as evidence. This is very low quality, very makeshift operation. They promised us tunnels, they promised us rockets under the basement of the hospital, they promised us stockpiles and stockpiles, and where is all of that? Now we get a backpack and some CDs, like this is a chip. So, they're completely humiliated at this point. There's never would have been any justification for the war crimes that they've committed, but there certainly isn't now. And I'd like to see the faces of the people who try to carry water for these war criminals.
Yeah, so that's clearly fake as shit, right? Like, you don't need my interpretation.
Exactly right, that's exactly what they
think. You think, like, in front of a court of law, that video, that evidence is going to be justification for war crimes, for genocide of children? Do you think so? I don't. And these puppets, they're up against a really grizzled war veterans, all of us in the independent media who have been at this for a long time now, are soldiers, we're veterans in information warfare, and we can spot this crap a mile away and cut it up. Go right through it, and they can't win. And even the snake news. Listen to this: the BBC, right? PSYOP #1 are turning on Israel. This would never get forward if something big hasn't changed in this narrative war.
Israel described the Al-Shifa hospital as the main headquarters for Hamas's terrorist activity. This IDF animation, posted in late October, claims to represent a Hamas tunnel system underneath the hospital. But having been inside Al-Shifa since early Wednesday, Israel's yet to produce evidence of the tunnels. It has allowed the BBC and Fox News to film at the hospital, the only locations of Israel's choice.
This is what they found.
Israel also released its own 7-minute video, BBC verified and analysed. A watch, visible in that video, suggests it was filmed a few hours before the BBC arrived.
See, they're getting scared of doing real journalism, now a little bit of fake real journalism, because it's going to be criminal court. These are crimes against humanity. Someone's got to be prosecuted for these crimes. So you got the BBC trying to do a little bit of news to save their own ass. That's what's going on. These are crimes against humanity.
And this IDF video was posted, then deleted, then reposted. This time without a section referring to an Israeli soldier who'd been held hostage.
I don't know when this was used the last time.
Also in the video, we see a room with an MRI machine.
If you zoom in and we get some light over here, what you'll be able to see is military equipment.
The BBC was shown the same room, and what we see in the two videos doesn't precisely match. For example, there's one gun in the IDF video, two by the time of the BBC footage. Israel has told BBC Verify this is because more weaponry and terrorist assets were discovered throughout the day.
And as always, an AK-47.
Israel also says its video is a single shot with no edits, but this appears to be an edit. We don't know the reasons for that edit, nor how significant it is. The IDF, though, says suggestions it's manipulating the media are incorrect. The IDF video also shows military equipment in other locations, though we can't verify how it came to be there. And what we see in this IDF video doesn't equate to Israel's description of Al-Shifa as an operational command center for Hamas. The US is using a different phrase, saying Al-Shifa was used as a command and control node. That implies a much smaller facility. Israel is adamant this hospital was a command center, but for now at least, it's either not found supporting evidence or it's not sharing it.
So many people that I followed, and I'm sure you all have the same thing, that were America first.
Hold on, let me just finish my point. Let's also add in there the attempted regime change war in Syria, which we started, that led to 500. Okay? Between the war and.
Following the narrative, 100% Israel first. They're Zionists, and not America first. And they're talking the most
verify how it came to be there. And what we see in this IDF video as an operate.
Let's also throw in there the attempt. Wait, so
bringing in all the refugees to attack Americans.
Hold on, let me just finish my point. Let's also add in there the attempted regime change war in Syria, which we started, that led to 500,000 people dying. Let's also throw in there the war in Yemen, which we backed the Saudis fighting. There's like something else like 500,000 somewhere in that ballpark also died. When you add up all of the numbers, you're talking about millions and millions of dead innocent people.
Yeah, we killed.
What responsibility do you have? What responsibility do I have? What responsibility do you have? Are we fair targets now to be murdered because we haven't overthrown the status quo, as you just said? Why is it that we as Americans get to hold these standards against other nations, which we would never dream of imposing on ourselves? The question is always asked, what's Israel supposed to do? Don't they have a right to defend themselves? Do all of these countries that we've slaughtered innocent people in, do they have a right to defend themselves? Do they have a right to come over here and kill innocent civilians? I would say no. They don't have a right to come kill innocent civilians. You have political grievances with the government class, but it does not follow, as Osama bin Laden or Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or George W. Bush would argue, that it then follows that we can inflict this collective punishment against people. If we're going to be the better ones, if we're going to say you're the Islamists, but we're the civilized people, if we're going to represent the best tradition of Western civilization, then the point would be that we don't believe in any of that. We don't believe that you can target innocent men, women, and children. This is what Ron Paul and Pat Buchanan and all of the best of the paleo-conservatives and paleo-libertarians always recognized. All the true America First people recognized. Was that you cannot do whatever you want abroad and think that you're not going to create hatred against yourself. As Pat Buchanan said about Osama bin Laden, when George W. Bush said he hates us because we're free, it's not as if, this was Pat Buchanan's law, which I always loved, because it's not as if Osama bin Laden stumbled in the desert somewhere upon the Bill of Rights. And was just like, oh my God, what? They have a right to a speedy trial? Let me finish my point. They have a right to a speedy trial? I hate their freedom. What were his complaints? His complaints were that we prop up Israel, and they abuse the Palestinians, that we have bases in Saudi Arabia, that we have the sustained bombing campaign against the Iraqis, and that we prop up brutal dictators in Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Those were their complaints. After 9/11, Colin Powell, the wisest member of George W. Bush's administration, who still deserves all of the evil things in the world to happen to him because he still went and lied us into the war in Iraq at the UN, even though he knew it was all BS. His response to 9/11 in 2003 was to push for a two-state solution with the Palestinians and the Israelis. Because he knew this is the cause of so much of the terrorism that we deal with. You simply have to give these people their natural rights. You can't sit here and say, you can have a state when Israel has decided you've met X, Y, and Z, which, by the way, you're never going to meet. And then, by the way, when they're talking to their own people, they talk about how they're trying to undermine that anyway. You have to do this. And you know what happens? Is George W. Bush bailed on it because he was basically convinced by House members that you would alienate your evangelical Christian voting base. Yes, no one's denying that. This is like, okay, fine. 9/11 happened to us. What was the American attitude after 9/11? We gave George W. Bush a blank check. Yeah. Do whatever you want to do. Drop bombs on whoever the hell you want to drop bombs on. Because we are.
Exactly. That was the whole thing, because they were scared about the 9/11 false flag hoax that was created by Mossad and the CIA inside job. That's why the media didn't do no investigative report, because they're controlled by the same people that did it. Told you it's a goddamn plane that hit the damn Pentagon's a lie. No bodies, no fuselage, no nothing, no plane parts. No bodies found out there in Pennsylvania in the field. And remember, no black boxes were ever recovered on all 4 flights. 2 that hit the damn towers, 1 that hit the Pentagon, and 1 that hit the field. That's another statistical improbability for boxes that are destruction proof, right? They're designed to make sure that they're not destroyed. Anyway, family, I'm gonna wrap that up right there, right? Come back tomorrow. I'm gonna do 2 shows tomorrow. Try to do 2 shows a day, but because I didn't do it Friday like I was supposed to, I caught up with some family nonsense. Like I said, I'm back every week like I'm supposed to be. 2 or 3 shows on the weekend, so I will be here. So with that, family, say much love. Good night to everybody. Black, hot, fire. Woo! We out. Much love to the fam, baby. Black, hot, fire. See everybody tomorrow. 2 shows on Sunday. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. How you celebrated, I don't. But hopefully you had a good one with your family. And all the food you needed. We out. Black. Hot. Fire. Come on. School back out, stupid. Maybe one more time, let you know. School out, wake up. Time to go home. You ain't gotta get out of here. You ain't gotta go home. But you gotta get the hell out of here. Black, hot, fire. Woo! I don't know if you guys noticed. I had to tone down my language, stop most of the cursing. Of course, we stopped the N-I-G-G-A word. My kids got on me with that anyway, because I've been using. But now we're advertising over in Africa, so I can't have, me going off on tangents anymore. That would hurt advertising. Something's got to pay the dang bills, Something's got to pay the bills. So with that, family, much love to everybody tomorrow. Woo! Hot! Hot! Fire! We out! Black! Hot! Fire! That's what we do. Feels so good for seeing you. Live on the radio, live on everything. Much love, man. We out of here. Flat. Hot. Hey! Come on. I say about tomorrow, we do twice tomorrow, and I'm back up on this thing. Peace. Flat. Hot. Fire. We'll let all the damn. We'll see the numbers pop back up. you know, Michelle, before they started that other one, we were having 1,000 people almost in here. 400 or 500 damn people. So it's gonna take a while to build the numbers back up. They'll take it back down, but they'll find us again. They'll find us again. We have 400 or 500 people in this damn chat room again on YouTube. A couple hundred on Facebook. I got people. When I have a TikTok account, when I use my TikTok account, they don't even know about it. I'm flooded with people on both accounts up in this joint on this TikTok shit. And since I said I was gone, we still left. Everybody left on this one. I get flooded with people on this shit. I put this shit on Africa, don't nobody show up. I'm flooded with shit on it. I think it may be because of my phone. But anyway. Woo! Come on. Flat. Hot. Hey! Come on. No more curses, family. No more N-I-G-G-A. Gotta watch my speech. Flat. Hot. Fire. We out. Woo! Much love, family. Flat. Hot. Fire. We out. We out. We out. See everybody tomorrow morning, family. You shows. Ring the alarm. Move back out, stupid. Flat. Hot. Fire. Much love, family. Everybody have a good night. Everybody have a good night. I'm out. Peace. I left the building.